Okay, we are in the Red Big Ideas Record and Practice Journal, and today we are working in Chapter 9. We're doing 9.1, surface area and volume. This is some pretty heavy stuff, so I'm going to always try to start out with the easiest and then work my way to the hardest problems. Now, volume was something we just threw in, because if you're doing surface area of a prism, you may as well just go ahead and do volume of a prism as well. Volume is very, very basic. You're given three numbers. All you need to do is put those three numbers and multiply them together to come up with your answer. So in order to find the volume of this rectangular prism, what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out how much fits inside. How many meter cubes, because we're in meters, and they're going to be cubic meters, how many cubic meters fits in to that prism. So basically all we do is we take 8 times 7 times 2 and we get our answer. And our volume is 112 meters cubed. So whenever you're doing volume, chances are you're going to have to do surface area anyway. So I just want to make sure we start with the easy one. The easy one, in my opinion, would be volume. So now we're going to do surface area. Yes, there is a formula for surface area. No, I don't really like it. What I like to tell my kids is I like to say, hey, there are three numbers. You need to multiply them twice, add them up, and then times by 2. And I'll try to give you the quick version here. First, we're going to do 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. Then we're going to do 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Put a dot by 2, put another dot by 7. And then you'll notice the 8 and the 2 also need dots. So that's the last multiplication we have to do. So we're going to do 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Now, basically what we have figured out now, as far as the area goes, we're taking surface area and we're breaking this prism up into its area. Now, real quick, 8 times 7, that's this side. Big side, it's the front. 2 times 8 is this tall, skinny piece right here. And then 2 times 7 would be on top. But we're going to take all those numbers. We're going to take 56, 14, and 16. We're going to add it up. We're going to get 86. Now, the 86 stands for this front piece, this side piece, and the top piece. But what we need to do is we need to get the bottom that it's resting on, or the base. We need to get this back side, and we need to get this side that you can't see right now. So in order to get those three other sides, we just simply take 86 and times it by 2. And if we take 86 times it by 2, we get 172. Because remember, we've got three sides here that we already solved. You just have to multiply it by 2. Once you add them up, I should get my addition sign in there. Add them up, times by 2, and you get your surface area. So surface area, actually I'm going to go back to red just to try to keep things a little bit separate here. Surface area is going to be 172 meters squared. So that's just like wrapping that prism all the way around. 172 meters squared. Remember, volume fits inside it. Surface area, you're wrapping it around the outside. Again, there is a formula for surface area, but I just kind of like to do three numbers, multiply them all twice, add them up, and then times by 2 to get your surface area. Now, the triangular prism is going to give us a little bit of a run for our money, so this is going to take some time. But again, we want to break it down. Now, unlike the rectangular prism, the triangular prism has 5 sides, and we want to make sure we account for the area of all 5 of the sides. Well, we have 2 triangles here, and then of course the backside triangle. Then we have 3 rectangles. Now, one thing kids want to do is they want to draw connections between the prism and the rectangular prism and the triangular prism. But we have to understand, if we flattened it out, we would only have 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. So we got to make sure when we're finding the surface area of the prism, the triangular prism, we want to make sure we only have 5 sides. There's no need to multiply it by 2 because we're just dealing with these 5 sides. Then, another tricky part here is we do not want to use the 10. We want to use the base and the height. And this right here would be 6, and this would be 8. So 6 is your base and 8 is your height. 6 times 8 would be 48. 48 divided by 2 would be 24. So each triangle has an area of 24. Now, the reason why we don't want to use 10, you want to use the base and the height that's next to the right angle. That's how we know our base and height, because it's directly linked to the right angle. Opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, and we don't want to use the hypotenuse when we're finding the area of a triangle. Now, we just need to do the 3 remaining rectangles. And I'll try to draw it in so you know what rectangles we're talking about. First, the one that jumps out at me is this rectangle right here. That rectangle is 12 by 6. 12 times 6 is 72. So we got 72 for that rectangle. Then we also have this bottom rectangle that you can't see. But this bottom rectangle would be 10 by 12. So we're going to go 12 times 10. That's going to be 120. And then finally, the last rectangle that it's kind of this one right here. You really can't see it. That would be 8 by 12 or 12 by 8. Okay, and 12 by 8 is 96. So we have accounted for all 5 of the shapes, the 3 rectangles and the 2 triangles within that triangular prism. Then the last thing we have to do is we just have to add it all up. So we're going to take 96 plus 120 plus 72 plus 24 plus 24. And we are going to get 336 centimeters squared. That's going to be the surface area for this triangular prism. So just to recap on 9.1, we did do surface area for a prism and for a rectangular prism and for a triangular prism. The triangular prism has 5 sides. Make sure you get all 5 sides. 2 triangles, 3 rectangles. The rectangular prism has 6 sides. Find 3, find the area of 3, times it by 2, and you have your surface area. And then the first thing that we did was volume, and volume is just simply 8 times 6 times 2, and that would be equal to 112 meters cubed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good luck with surface area and volume.